I'm not blaming the police. It's not their duty to protect you. You actually read the law, and they can't protect you every time. And they're going, he's busting in, he's coming through the window now. And this will go on for 5 minutes, and then he's raping me. How about he comes through? Boom, 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 boom. You die. You like that? Yeah. I mean, I got 2 daughters. Let me tell you something. They're not going to lay around, even if they didn't have a gun. They're going with a butcher knife. They're going to attack you, bastard. You got that? But now the cops show up, the woman's raped and dead. Because they were taught how to be feminists by the CIA-run Miss Magazine. Oh, that's declassified, to break up the family so the state could raise all the kids and the women would be working all the time so they could have double taxes to break up the family and control it. Oh, it's so liberal. Oh, it's so good. I am fired up today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, and listen, I always say Obama's a puppet. I say Bush is a puppet. I try not to hate him individually. When I say scumbag criminals, Obama's just the titular head of that. He's the front man. And we need to not even get into hate of Obama, even though I catch myself doing it, because he's just a front man. He's just a puppet. The globalists want us to hate Bush, to hate him instead of ever hating the Federal Reserve, the bankers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Queen of England, the New World Order that own all this. But I mean the scumbag criminals engaged in high treason coming after the federal government illegally. That violates federal and state law. 10th Amendment, 9th Amendment state laws. Bypasses the state legislatures, which are moving towards pro-Second Amendment everywhere because the majority of people are waking up. They're moving to counties and cities and literally giving them federal money to pass laws against the Second Amendment. Now that's high treason! Everything our veterans fought and died for, everything land of the free, home of the brave is about, is under attack, and I'm sick of it! Let's talk to Tracy in Minnesota. You're on the air, Tracy.
Hi, Alex. God bless you and your family for your work and them putting up with you, and I just love everything.
Hey, I'm not a slave. Again, people get excited about sports. That's mental illness. They yell and scream. People say, oh, that's a good old boy. But you get excited about defending liberty, not having a bunch of bloodthirsty communists sucking you dry. You're some kind of weirdo. No, you haven't gelded me. I'm not your slave. I'm not under your control. I've broken your conditioning. Go ahead.
No, your animation and your energy is just, you know what, it's gotten my 8-year-old's attention, and he loves you, and it's getting information out there that I love you. I wanted to tell you about, we had a tax cut rally up here.
Obama's going around with a pair of scissors wanting to chop everybody's thingies off, and I'm not going along with it.
No.
I'm not gelded. Go ahead, ma'am.
No. I'm teaching my kids a lot. You're helping me teach my kids. Let's just say that. But, no, we had a tax cut rally up here at the Capitol. And, you know, it's so funny because it just finally hit me. You got these tea parties, these fake tea parties, whatever you want to call them. Then you got the feds, and then boom, they try to hit us with, oh, stay inside, put the masks on.
Martial law is good. We've got to confiscate your firearms and give you forced inoculations.
Yeah, and then maybe
here's the key point I haven't made. They say they're going to lock all the U.S. cities down, but the border and all the planes keep flying. We're going to lock down U.S. cities maybe and make you take shots, but the border stays wide open.
Right. And so right there you have, I'm thinking now, oh, well, they're thinking, okay, shut down the cities, shut down the protests. I mean, obviously.
Exactly. No. And look, this is a beta test for when there's real rebellion against the private bankers hijacking the nation and openly announce that they're going to use Northcom and the Army against us. They'll just release flu each time or say a new flu's out and, if a squirrel dies or something, they'll lock the whole country down. We'll burn the Bill of Rights and Constitution. Everything's over.
Right. Right, and we had about 2 or 3 days ago, we finally had our first case of the, swine flu in Cold Spring, Minnesota. And I know, we're not scared. 2 days later, 5,000 people show up at the state capitol. It hit me, we're not scared.
Exactly. God bless you, and that's the spirit. That is the spirit that will defeat the globalists. Time for one more? No. Let's jam in one more. Matt in Houston, in H-Town. You're on the air, baby.
Hi, Alex. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Have you broken your conditioning?
Yes, sir.
Good.
I got my first gun a week ago, and I've been preparing for a while.
Good.
I've watched the Obama deception. I've shared it with people that I work with. I'm handing it out on flash drives. I have a DVD burner. I can burn up to 12 copies at a time. I'm very hyped up. I'm very excited. I'm not going to submit, not going to take the vaccination.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I can feel it. I can feel the liberty. I like you.
What I want to tell you about is breaking news from Canada. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says that they've detected the swine flu in 6 months.
I got upset. In my pants, I heard the word bird flu. I'll hand in all my firearms now. Well, you're saying they found bird flu or the piggy flu? Porky Pig?
One, I guess.
Porky Pig is on the loose. Porky Pig! Oh. Yeah, lock the city down. Turn your guns in. Take forced inoculations. Oh, my God, there's been one death. Oh, help me. Please. Oh. Yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm not putting up with it anymore. I am mad as hell.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
And I know this. Me and mine, we're not slaves. I'm not a slave. My family aren't slaves. I know slavery when I see it, and a bunch of dirtbag corporatists coming in here with a bunch of fancy song and dance and looting the nation and stealing $12.8 trillion in the last 6 months to line their dirtbag pockets, and now they're menacing us with the military and Obamanoids running around on the streets saying gun owners are the #1 terror threat in America. You're the terrorists, you bankers, you criminals. All right. All right, I'm going to blitz through calls because coming up is the gun stuff. Next segment, I promise, but I want to take more of your calls. Just these callers keep bringing up issues that fire me up to no end. And I guess it's wrong. You know, the Founding Fathers got fired up, too, about freedom. They were evil, I guess, according to the FEMA reports. I've got FEMA on tape saying the Founding Fathers were terrorists and bad. Maybe loving freedom and not wanting to be a slave and having red blood is bad. Unless you're yelling at a stupid sports game, then it's okay. That's allowed. That's all that is. He is like a little avenue to discharge all your real energy. As you sit there like a spectator dressed up like a clown instead of really getting fired up in the game of life, which is war. War against tyranny. Tyranny's always waging war against liberty. You figure that out yet? Oh, there's a war going on for your mind and your wallet and your children and everything. You going to stand up to it? John in Toronto, Canada. You're on the air worldwide, John. John, come ahead. Okay, John just made the jump into hyperspace. Let's talk to John from an undisclosed location. From Planet Pop-Tart. You're on the air, John. Go ahead.
How's it going?
Good, sir.
First, let me just say I prefer to say undisclosed just because I don't believe in the man-made boundaries that we have drawn in the lines, which have done nothing but, diminish our progress as humans.
So you believe in a global government? Great, with a big fat...
Not at all.
Mousy tongue running at the top with machine guns. Okay.
Let me just say it to you this way. I was pointed in your direction by a very well-known member of InfoWars. To put it to you simply, I used to deal firearms for many years, and I'm sure you could piece it together and understand who I'm talking about. And with this said...
riddle me this, riddle me that, and I don't know what you're... Just tell me, sir, what's going on?
Nature's law. All right? Nature always goes in hand with irony. What we're talking about is parasites, people that are feeding. Let's take the common flea, for example. What they do is they feed, but without that feeder, they have nothing, no power. And we're talking about these people that are running the world at this point and controlling us. However, the only reason why they can do this is because we have allowed them to feed off of us.
And we follow their orders, and we do what they say, and they've turned our jobs and our schools and everything into prisons. I agree with you. Great point.
And the time that we can get this to turn is, and perfect points that previous caller called in about the census taker, came to his yard. Why is that guy the only guy sitting there arguing with them? How many neighbors did he have looking out their blinds going, oh, my God, what's going on? That guy fought as one. Now, this is what needs to change. Because the way I see it is when that census guy comes and forces himself on that property, it shouldn't be...
Yeah, that's a giant... that's a baby chick.
It should be every neighbor in that neighborhood coming down.
Yeah,
now, we're talking about 10 pawns versus 1 king.
I hear you. People got to take action. That was a baby tick coming out to scout blood meals for the larger mega ticks. And they're violating your Fifth Amendment, folks. But you violate your Fifth Amendment when you fill out an income tax form we didn't have till 1913. You waive your rights. You violate your rights. They threaten you with penalties if you don't incriminate yourself and fill out these forms. The government says it's exempt from mistakes, but you're not exempt from mistakes. It goes on and on and on and on. And speak of the devil, they're trying to make school teachers and then real estate agents and then CPAs and then everybody. Under Homeland Security, they're going to make everyone in the nation have a national ID card, locally standardized ID, to have a job. That's official. And they're phasing it in right now. So I got a news tip mailed to me here at this station. And yes, I was aware of this, but I'm glad the person mailed it to me. It says, America's privacy threatened by new global fingerprint database. CPA group allows foreign data miner full access to American fingerprints. See, not only Are they making all the CPA people now fingerprint to have a CPA job like you're a prisoner in a database? That's being shared internationally to track and trace you. And it's the same. They make you thumbprint to get school lunches in most schools. And even if you're paying for it yourself. This is the control grid to track and trace, so they just turn your thumbprint off. They admit that the governments admit they're conditioning the public to do this to buy and sell. Whether you believe in revelations or not, this is a bad idea. Imagine if Hitler would have had this, nobody would have gotten away from him. Even the American Institute for Certified Public Accountants, under pressure from outraged citizens and CPAs from across the country, has recently admitted to collecting the fingerprints of American citizens who take the CPA exam. And it doesn't matter. It says people in a news article bring their Social Security card, driver's license, passport, everything, and they say, no, you must give us your biometric fingerprint. Now, see, I have this Lou Dobbs piece. Now, I reported this a couple of weeks ago about, and so did Gunners of America, about this new treaty to ban reloading, saying it's terrorism and explosives to reload in your home. Or private companies have to get a UN license, international license.